welcome guys. As you know, today's topic is carbon. Whenever we say carbon, everyone immediately thinks of CO2, but carbon is not one person, it's a full family. In climate discussion, carbon is often oversimplified. People assume all carbon behaves the same way in the atmosphere. That is incorrect. Some carbon types heat the planet quickly, some stays for hundreds of years, and some actually help us by storing carbon naturally. Why it's matter? If policymaker, companies, or sustainability teams don't understand these differences, climate strategies become ineffective or misleading. Why? Treating all carbon the same is like treating fever, fracture, and headache with the same medicine. Doctor going to do is no, it will not. Why carbon is not a concept? Some carbon warms the planet, some protects it, and some quietly saves it. How? Carbon exists in different physical and chemical forms. Some absorb sunlight, some reflects heat, some stays in the air, some stays in forest or ocean. Behavior is more important than just counting emission. Why it is matter? Net zero targets fail when we only focus on quantities, not quality and behaviors of carbon. Carbon is not good or bad. Carbon is misunderstood. So I'm going to tell you about color coding of carbon. Black carbon, a powerful climate warmer. This is a carbon in a hurry. Why? Black carbon is basically soot produced from incomplete combustion when diesel engines, ships industries, or open fire burn fuel inefficiently. They release black carbon. Even though black carbon stays in atmosphere for only for days or weeks, it has a very strong warming effect. Why it's matter? Reducing black carbon gives immediate climate and health benefit. Why? Because black carbon doesn't live long, but while it's alive, it causes full drama. Impact of black carbon are: black carbon attack ice directly. When black carbon settles on ice and snows, it darkens the surface. Dark surface absorb more heat, which accelerates melting. This is one of the reason Arctic ice melts faster. It also worsens air quality and causes respiratory disease. Why it's matter? Black carbon links climate change and public health. Why? So there is a comedy. CO2 is a slow poison. Black carbon is instant damage. Why reducing black carbon gives us quick result? Want fast climate results? Start here. Because black carbon has a short atmosphere life. Reducing it shows immediate impact. Cleaner fuels, better engines, emission controls, and banning open burning help significantly. Why it's matter faster? This is how low hanging fruits for government and industries. This is climate where action with instant results, no waiting. Till 2050, brown carbon, heat trapping, organic aerosols. Brown carbon hides inside smokes. Brown carbon is produced mainly from biomass burning, wildfires, crop residue burning, and wood combustion. It absorbs sunlight and contributes to warming. It's often ignored because it's look natural. Why it's matter? Natural doesn't mean harmless. Brown carbon always says, relax, I'm organic, and then heats the planet. This you can say are hidden enemy. I'm going to tell you about climate relevance of brown carbon. More fire, more carbon, more warming. With climate change, wildfire frequency is increasing. Nowadays you are seeing it. This means more brown carbon in the atmosphere, creating a feedback loop. Warming cause fire, fire cause more warming. Why it is matter? Climate is now self-reinforcing. Climate change is replying to itself faster than the WhatsApp groups. Now moving to another topic, red carbon. Accelerating ice and snow melt. Climate damage is not just chemical, it's biological. Red carbon refers to biological material like algae growing on ice and snow. This darken ice surface and increase heat absorption, accelerating melting. So why it is matter? Even biological processes now influence climate outcomes. So there is a comedy. Algae joins the climate crisis without our permission. Why red carbon is more important? A small organism, big impact. Red carbon shows how sensitive the climate system is. Minor biological change can trigger major environment consequences. So why it is matter? Climate models just include biology, not just emission. Even microbes are contributing unpaid interns of climate change. Now, moving forward to another topic, which is grey carbon, fossil, fuel based emission. This is the main villain everyone knows. Grey carbon refers to CO2 from fossil fuels, power plants, transport, industry. It stays in the atmosphere for hundreds of years and drive long-term climate change. So why it's matter? This is the backbone of net zero discussion. Many companies are thinking that we can achieve net zero carbon emission, but they forgot about this grey carbon. If you understood this, then you are going to achieve it because this is the backbone of net zero emission. Grey carbon never leaves, like that office colleague who retired but still attended meeting. Why grey carbon is hard to reduce? Because modern life runs on it, like energy system, transport industry, everything depends on fossil fuels. Reduction grey carbon require massive structural changes. So why it's matter? Net zero is very difficult if we are not going to handle it. It's expensive and slow, but unavoidable. Every company wants to achieve net zero carbon emission, but nobody wants to change their lifestyle or working style. Now moving to next topic, green carbon. Green carbon is stored on land. Natural is the organic. Carbon capture type technology like forest, soils, wetlands, and grassland store carbon naturally. Vegetation absorbs CO2 through photosynthesis and stores it in biomass and soil. So why it's matter? Green carbon offsets emission and stabilize ecosystem. How? So tree don't need carbon credits, they just works. Strengthen green carbon is necessary. Planting tree is very easy, but protecting them is very hard. Green carbon can be strengthened through sustainable land management, reforestation, and soil restoration. Why it's matter? Destroy forest, release store carbon back into the atmosphere. Cutting forest and planting spelling is not sustainability. It's just a replacement. Now moving to next topic, blue carbon. Coastal climate protection. This is also one of critical aspects. The ocean has been doing climate work silently. Mangroves, seagrass, and salt marshes store carbon extremely efficiently, even better than the forest in some cases. Why it's matter? Blue carbon ecosystems are powerful but fragile. Blue carbon doesn't advertise, it delivers. Benefits of blue carbon ecosystems. Climate protection with bonus benefits. Blue carbon ecosystem protects coastline, support biodiversity and provide livelihoods while storing carbon long term. Why it's matter? Natural ways solutions solve multiple problem at once. So there is a comedy. Blue carbon multitask better than the human. Now I'm going to tell you about climate types and climate strategy. One size does not fit at all. Reduce black and brown carbon for quick wins. Protect green and blue carbon for stability. Reduce gray carbon for net zero. If you want to achieve really, why it matter? Balance strategy. Effective climate action. Climate strategy fails when we oversimplify complex system. Implementation for business and sustainability reporting. Sustainability without carbon understanding is just branding. Please try to understand this. Understanding carbon types improves climate risk assessment, credibility of net zero claims, and alignment with nature-based solution. Why it's matter? Investor now ask how, not just how much. Pretty sustainability reporting don't reduce emission, actions do. Carbon is not enemy, ignorance is. Carbon exists in multiple form. Each requires a different solution. Integrate strategies, deliver climate impact. Climate change is complex, but we don't need to make it